So take a minute just to look at these, all right, and identify from these residual plots whether a linear model would be suitable for that or not. So pause it, think about it, and then come back. So now you've done that, let's have a look. So with this pattern here, with graph A, residual graph A, there's definitely a distinct pattern. So a linear model would not be suitable for that data. You don't even know or can see from that what the data is, but from the residual you know it can't be. So it's probably a quadratic. Plot B, a linear model is suitable for that. You can see there's a random scattering of residuals above and below. The residuals are large though, so it probably wouldn't be a strong correlation, but a linear model is a suitable regression model for that data. C, again, there's a distinct pattern. You can see that your residuals are starting high, coming down low to zero, and then continuing back down to a large negative value. So a linear model wouldn't be suitable for that either. It's probably some sort of exponential model. D, again, pretty random, above and below. A linear model would be suitable for that. And again, like with B, seems like sort of significant residuals, so probably not a strong correlation, but the point is that a linear model, notwithstanding that, would be suitable for that. And you can clearly see here for E and F that they're not linear models because you can again see distinct patterns in your residual plot curves. This one here is probably a quadratic, and residual F probably is some kind of cubic relationship. Again, for this course, you don't need to really know that. You just need to identify whether a linear model is suitable or not. Now let's have a look at this question. What I want you to do now is spend maybe 5 minutes looking at this data, analysing it, and answering basically this question here. Determine whether a linear regression model is a suitable representation of the data. Now what you need to do is analyse the data first, look at what the scatter plot looks like, determine the equation, use your ClassPad to determine all the residual values for each of the data points, scatter plot the data points, and then determine from the pattern or otherwise of those data points whether a linear model is suitable or not. So come back after you've done that, pause the video and have a look at how it works. So the line of least squares for this would be, if you did a linear regression analysis of this data, would be p hat equals minus 40.2546t plus 431.4546. Remember, in questions where there's a context or an assigned value other than x and y for the variables, you should use those accordingly in your equation. So don't use y and x here, use p and t. Now if we graph that and we do a linear regression line here, and then we look at our correlation coefficient and our coefficient of determination, they're pretty damn good. You could be excused for thinking, in fact, that a linear model for this particular data would be a good representation of that data, okay? You've got a strong coefficient of correlation of negative 0.96, and you've got a very strong coefficient of determination as well, 0.92. So this would be indicating that 92% of the time, when you change the value of t, you get a corresponding change to p that can be described by this equation here. So you could be satisfied almost that that's a very good representation of the data. But let's just not stop there. Let's actually have a look at what the residuals are. So use your ClassPad to determine the residuals. So again, generate list 3 from your ClassPad by copying your residuals, choosing list 3, and then doing a scatter plot of your residuals. So you're doing a scatter plot of your x values in list 1 against your residual values in list 3. That's your residual plot. Now have a look at what happens here now. There is a distinct pattern of our residuals. Okay, it is not a random scattering. So that's actually telling us that in actual fact, a linear model is not the most suitable regression model for this data. So it can be very subtle. So sometimes it's not obvious to see from looking at the data. You could be excused for thinking that a linear model would be a good, tight, strong correlation representation of that data. And it's still not bad, but it's not the most suitable model. The most suitable model actually is some other kind of non-linear model. And in actual fact, you don't need to know this, but for interest, your ClassPad can show you that in fact it's a cubic relationship that is your best representation model for this data. And you can see here that if you run this as a model in your ClassPad, you end up with an R squared and an R value of nearly almost 1. All right, so very, very close to a perfect correlation. Okay, so much, much stronger than what we have here. Even though the linear representation is not bad, this is the more suitable model. So again, in this course, you don't need to actually know how to do this kind of model here, but you do need to be able to identify from calculating residuals, plotting them and analysing and determining that there's a pattern there, that a linear model is not the most suitable model for this data. So that's a bit of an intro into residuals and how they relate to determining the suitability of whether a linear regression model is the most appropriate model to analyse data or not. Read the lesson plan and there'll be more information about reading from the textbook, some other worked examples, and what to do in terms of practicing this a bit further with the time you got left in the lesson. All right, cheers guys, have a good one, and we'll see you next week.